Maybe you have wondered why I am running this YouTube channel and putting out episode after episode promoting that we should switch to electric cars and start to live a renewable life. What is my motivation and what is the reason? Well, maybe it's obvious that I would like to save the world, but is it the world and Earth I want to save? I will in this episode tell you the story why I think it's so important that we now start switching to a renewable society. And we will start it with a cartoon that will illustrate a discussion between two people that I overheard the other day.
This thing with electric cars is so exaggerated. Let people drive their petrol and diesel cars. Makes no difference. It doesn't work if everyone should drive electric. We don't have the energy. The electric grid will not cope. And there will be enormous environment disaster when all the raw materials that is needed will be mined for motors and batteries. This is stupid to continue this electrification.
Let this claim sink down a little bit in our thoughts. The human has been around on this planet for approximately 200,000 years. The absolutely majority of this time, our species has been living a primitive hard life, where things like sickness, constant fears from other species and hunger has been an everyday challenge. The average age has not been more than 30 years. The time as we know it today with our modern society, with cars, computers and the possibility to spread the word to anyone around the world with something called internet and YouTube, is something that has been going on for extremely short time during those 200,000 years. The chance, or rather risk, that our society will collapse is more certain than a possibility, and that we will return to a life similar to what our ancestors have lived during the absolutely majority of the time that humans has been living on Earth. So taking the life as we know today for granted is risky, especially if we continue on a path where we live an unsustainable life. Our modern society was built thanks to the unsustainable raw materials that gave us possibility to not spend all our life finding food for survival. And that we should be thankful for. But now is the time to act and change. Someone might say that we do this so we can save the world and our Earth. No, the Earth will still be around for billions of years unless a huge foreign object larger than our own planet will hit us, appearing unexpected from the space. No, so that is not the reason. It's rather the question of how many generations humans still will be around and have the possibility to live in our modern society. How long time will we be able to provide enough food for everyone? We already struggle to do that in many parts of the world. The climate, the nature is so important for us to provide what we need for our survival. The climate has been rather stable for the last 100,000 years that gave humans a favorable life situation. Our Earth is 4.5 billion years. Put that in a perspective. Never ever in Earth history have a species started to dig deep into the crust of the planet for oil, gas and coal, burn it and release the carbon into the atmosphere, like humans have done during the last 200 years. We should not be surprised if this disturbs the balance that gave humans the favorable climate we have had for the last 100,000 years. And understand that this that we are doing is something abnormal. We are living in a time slot of humans' history on Earth that is fantastic. We have the possibility to do things that our Stone Age ancestors never could dream of. And my belief is that we have to protect and do everything we can in our power to defend these possibilities that we have today. Because these possibilities are not coming by themselves. All things that we benefit from in our modern society is a result of improvements after improvements, of innovations during at least those 200 years. Now we can go to space, fly in plane, have infinitive communications around the world. Let's use the knowledge and the possibilities that we have today and turn our world around so we will have a renewable modern society instead of facing a manipulated nature that will threaten the existence of humans on Earth. So what about the conversation that I overheard with a guy that was claiming that we could continue like before? Well, it's so easy to defend a lifestyle that we know and have been lived all our life, especially if you're not young today and will die before the hard consequences of global warming will hit the planet. But young people, like the climate activist Greta Thunberg, and other people that has been born during the last 20 years have another perspective, since they could have the possibility to live for many years to come.
There will be enormous environment disaster when all the raw materials that is needed will be mined for motors and batteries.
What about environmental impact from drilling and mining oil and coal? This industry have an enormously environmental impact. So what do you choose? Mining for materials for a renewable society or mining materials that just will be burned in an unsustainable world? I have made my choice because we have to use the energy as efficient as possible and use the technical innovations that is compatible with a renewable future. Electric cars is part of that solution, even if we have to rebuild our electric grid and mine the materials for motors and batteries. Because continue on the unsustainable path will lead to a faster collapse of our society, and that will close the time slot that gave humans the opportunity that we have today and forever disable the possibilities that we could have in the future.
Well, that's the end. And that's also the end of this episode. But before you leave, I would like to tell you that my YouTube channel is not covering everything there is in the world of EVs. There is YouTube channels out there that is doing that much more better than me. I would like to especially recommend the channel Now You Know that I made some cooperation with. This is Zach and Jesse that is producing a weekly news show about everything there is with Tesla's, EVs, renewable things. Go and watch their show. I will put a link in the description below. Also, if you plan to buy a Tesla Model 3, S or X, I have a referral link that also will be in the description, and you can use that and you will get some free supercharging. And I would also appreciate if you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't already done so. I will also post some of my other episodes here that you can double click and watch if you like. Until next time, have a great life, if the world still will be around.